And welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors channel. My name is Chris, bringing it to you here. It is a lovely Friday morning. I'm wishing y'all a blessed and highly favored rest of your day. And let's get into it. We're going to talk about the blue buy signal, which is still present and still active on the weekly time frame. Again, this that is fired off 19 times in Bitcoin's history has only failed 3 times. So about a 90% hit rate. Doesn't get much better than that. And what does the blue buy signal on the hash ribbons indicator say? Well, it basically says once it fires off that we will never have another closing low below the prior weekly low, coming in at 55,000 bucks. We can have wicks down there. In fact, I'm going to give you the potential target for a wick down and perhaps one of the best buying opportunities of the year. I'm also going to give you an idea for a short. As we have quite a bit of liquidity building here on most of the altcoins, starting it off with Mr. Pepe coin. I do want to take a peek at this and actually refresh the chart. I think this is the one I had from yesterday. And this resource is, phenomenal. Pepe liquidity hanging out, still a bit lower. So potential for another leg down on Mr. Pepe and perhaps a buying opportunity. We should look at that. But more importantly, let's look at, Ethereum liquidation levels. People are net short on Ethereum right now. Probably going to get a bounce on this one and a bit of a short squeeze as that's the analysis there. Let's take a look at Bitcoin liquidations on the monthly time frame. On the heat map, just for kicks here, I want to see on the 1 month chart. And this will give us a higher term perspective as we're coming into August. We've noted that August is typically a negative month for Bitcoin. The average loss in the month of August is 14%. And you'd be surprised how often these statistics, these monthly statistics, daily statistics, they tend to play out, and when the statistics become in your favor, then, well, I think the odds are not stacked against you as much as they are stacked quite against you. Anyways, Bitcoin, major yellow node coming in way down here at 51,000 bucks. 51,000. You've got some at 54 and another bright yellow chunk here, which is probably coming in at 61,000. I'm looking for a bounce in that zone at the very least. And let's get back to our chart because I think we called it out pretty good this week saying, hey, look, if we rejected this box, very likely, back to the bottom box. And what do you know, that 61,000 is right here off the white 200 simple. I would expect a bounce off this level on the first pass. And where did we get these beautiful boxes? And I'm actually going to adjust them right now using a Fibonacci retracement tool from the high to the low. There's your 0.5618 and then your 618786 box coming in this area right here. And that does look like a little bit more confluence. I do think we'd get a bounce there as well for the bottom of the range. In fact, that is something I'll bring our attention back to. But let's see, break above the top side of the range or below it. Really, we need to take out the all-time high. To the upside, to the downside, I think things can get a little bit worse faster. You can see these moves are quite swift and abrasive to the downside. And I do think there is some more, even though we're getting a short-term bounce here, as I was saying yesterday, I was meeting with a client yesterday saying, hey, look, we had this nasty spill down yesterday, and then it popped back up. And I said, very likely that move was going to get faded. Double top M formation, perfect to M, and continuation to the downside. Where does the target land? What do you know? Right there, right smack dab at 61,358. I would expect a bounce from that region at the very least on the first pass. Also coming in with these high liquidity nodes here. Interestingly enough, Solana is getting beat up against Bitcoin. The Sol BTC chart is certainly showing at the moment as Solana is, going down in dollar terms much faster than Bitcoin at the moment. So are all the altcoins. In fact, altcoins are bleeding it out pretty hard unless you are Casper, the one token to kind of buck the trend at the moment is Mr. Casper, which did make a new all-time high as Bitcoin was essentially crashing, is getting a small pullback. And I was going to say, as long as we don't lose the white 200 right here, which we just did, I would expect a little bit more upside. But to me now, downside target, probably going to revisit this wick right here, at least the middle of this wick. And if we do put in a lower high against this white 200 temple, that could very, very, very well, make this look a lot like a trap. Anyways, this is pretty much the strongest coin in the market right now, and even it is getting faded at the moment. And you can see this is the weekly time frame for Mr. Casper, the Ghost Dag Protocol. What else do I want to bring up to our favors today? I'm not going to look at it because I am looking to build the short on. Actually, let's review Mr. Solana token. And boy, these things really do turn around quickly when it comes to the altcoins. Bitcoin's just hanging out, not really doing anything. And even if it does get that swipe down to 60,000 bucks, I mean, it's still in the same range we've been in for 125, 130 days now. So I don't expect anything catastrophic to come, until we start breaking out that next high, the next high. But Solana did have a perfect head and shoulders formation, which I did have drawn out. I don't know if you guys remember me bringing this one up, saying, look, I think the head and shoulders is more like this, right? There's your left shoulder, head. I think perhaps you could have had it drawn out like that. Yes. But it did not end up violating this shoulder. So you could call that the head and shoulders. We broke it here. Okay, enter on the retest, stop loss below here. And bang, quite a nice trade to the downside. Interesting hourly closure on most of these altcoins here. Okay. Just taking a little profit on a trade, taking a little profit on this guy. As probably going to get a backfill and continuation on this one. Volatility is just maxed out. We have just began to max out that volatility, And what does that mean? Likely continuations. That's the hourly time frame, top right here. That's going to be a hard node to get above. You can see a lot of people got bullish there. Oh, it's rocketing back to the moon. Bounce off 60,000. That was the level. I took some buys off of that level, and thank God for the stop losses. But the head and shoulders played out on not only Solana but Bitcoin, and target was hit perfectly. Bounced and continued. So there's a great old saying my mentor used to say, and she can always go down more. She can always go down more. And when that is the case, you always got to be prepared for more. Prepare for more. So volatility is maxed. And where are those potential targets? Well, I'm looking at a 4-hour. And here's the other bearish thing about Solana right now. We just broke the 4-hour with, with a bit of a nasty bearish engulfing candle. Continuation down to about 145. We also did call this out on Monday as well with the bearish divergence on the daily time frame. coming back from this pivot right here, we had 2 drives, double top M formation, and target all the way down to 135. We were saying white 200 simple, somewhere around 143. Also on the 5-day, which is going to close today with a bearish engulfing candle. Very, very likely get some continuations to the downside for Mr. Solana at the moment. So not to say all hope is lost, guys, because it's not. It is not. It is very well quite beautiful right now. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful right now. Absolutely. Profits rolling in, coins turning green. If you can hit the sell button, guys, I mean, it's just, it's a lot of fun here. You know, AGIX losing this level on a critical basis on the 5-day time frame. Volatility continuations to the downside. And it seems like we're kind of getting a bounce and go type of vibe for most of these coins. And what am I talking about? Bounce and go? Well, you know, bounce and go. And I did nail an AGIX short that went like up like 150, 200% because, well, the price went down. The price went down. The price is right when it goes down. Yes. And I think I'm going to continue to milk the AI trade to the downside, as well as Tau. I think these things are going to give up the ghost. Additionally, Pepe, the short I had set up yesterday, did hit the TP1. Okay, good. And that was coming in from right here above that wick. So we're coming back to give it one more try, to the downside. I would say that would be the next short setup with a stop loss right above that wick, that last high value candle. Okay, who else wants to give us, so Bitcoin, a little bit more downside is okay. Again, we think 61,000, very likely target, lining it up with the heat maps. And if they're going to grab all that liquidity, why not grab it all while they can, right? Stock market is melting down on the jobs report today. I think I started it off with that. Very, very, well, bearish weekly close. And recession fears and Kamala fears. You know, Kamala's going up in the polls. What is the poly market? Poly market Kamala versus Trump. What does the polls say? Not Bloomberg, not Harris leads Trump 44% to 42 in the U.S., says Reuters magazine. Wow, look at that smile, guys. Fear for your lives. Fear for your lives, sir. Okay, next up in the polls here. So Pepe, the friendly frog. And then you've got this other one, Brett. Which, by the way, I do think the narratives do continue with massive green candles to the upside sometime with these narratives at some point. But in the meantime, I am looking for blood in the streets. Buy while there's blood in the streets, even if it's your own blood, right? That's the great old saying. So don't get caught, you know, holding the bag in a bear market. We're still in a bull market, so still plenty of chances to recover here. And at least get a temporary bounce, because it does look like we're coming into the bounce zone pretty soon. And here's my, you know, kind of only temporary fear is that if we are going to come box, we're going to come box the box of peace, prosperity, and death and despair down here at somewhere between 61 and 58,000. If we're going to layer our orders in there and Bitcoin goes down from here another, that would be 8%, which, by the way, would be right in line with the 14%, 13% drawdown in August, where everybody, you know, really institutional money managers, they're on vacation, right? They're enjoying themselves. It's August. So all the people that move the money around, they're on vacation this month. So, you know, not surprising if August is a bit of a failure. Additionally, I want to point out the monthly time frame, which has printed what was I going to say? The monthly time frame accumulation distribution indicator, which credit to Crown on this one, but this is one bad thing for the market right now. Now, negative slope on the monthly time frame for the accumulation distribution indicator. You can see the last few negative slope changes on the monthly time frame. Well, here, I mean, anywhere here. We go from positive to negative, then you are not going to be happy with the golden rule of fame. The golden rule of fame. But needless to say, what happened here? What happened? A very, very large negative slope change here. And we have not closed the month yet. So we still, essentially what we want to see this month, in the month of August, is for us to buck the trend, bust above the top side of the range, and flip this back to a positive slope. If this doesn't gain a positive slope by the end of this month, $50,000 Bitcoin is not out of the cards and will very likely erupt himself. All right. That's it out of me for today on Bitcoin. Gold. Are we going to put in a top? Looks bullish to me on the monthly continuation. Look at that. Monthly time frame closed above the topside Trailing band. So continuation from here. As long as gold is closing above the topside Trailing band, you expect continuation. So we had one close below. Now the second close below will be a warning sign. Weekly volatility is pretty compressed, and we're about to expand volatility to the upside, and the MACD is about to cross back up as well. Daily time frame for gold looks like a bit of a rejection. So what else do I want to bring up here in the chat room? What else do I want to bring up here is the dollar, right, versus the yen. And this is the carry trade people are talking about out there. Essentially, the yen interest rates are very low, right? So they could borrow money at 1% and then go buy U.S. Treasury bonds at 5%, or equities and get NASDAQ at 19%. So now the Japanese government is starting to raise rates, and the JPY USDT. Let's see. It's priced on Bitfinex. You can trade now currencies using crypto. So the Japanese yen is taking a big boost up against the dollar. Biggest. I mean, look at that rally. Wow. Interesting chart. I want to see the real JPY USD Forex. Let's look at the real Forex chart. And we're looking bullish, guys. Looking bullish. Do we have bullish divergence on our regular chart back here? So, the Japanese own like $3 trillion worth of assets in the U.S. And as they unwind and bring the money back to the country because they're raising rates, and the Japanese are saying, hey, we don't want inflation, bring the money back home, put it in the bank, put it in our Japanese bonds and get 4 or 5% interest and don't take any risk, et cetera, et cetera. That bit of an unwinding is part of the risk in the market. And with that said, very disappointed in this little bit of a trade wash that I'm getting squeezed on right now. All right, so I'm going to end it there. You guys have yourself a blessed and highly favored day and weekend, and I will see you in the next one. All things good to go. Just looking for potential buying opportunities as Bitcoin price comes down. Take care and have a blessed one. Bye-bye.